What's up? This is your boy Derek Branch here of Saint Discussions on Strike Seven Sports. And today I just want to talk about the future outlook of this team and answering the question of is it really that bad? Where you really look at the roster, the makeup of the roster right now, is the future really going to be doom and gloom with you know the cap situation, quarterback, the head coach, what type of coach he's going to be going after this season. Is it really that bad, with this team? So, what I want to do real quick, I got on my screen, if you see it, you know, I got the current Saints roster right now. And I want to look at certain players, you know, these certain players at the age from 26 below, 26 and below. So, kind of much, pretty much going to date it back to that 2017 draft, but players 26 and below, the young guys on the roster. So you got certain players out. These players, I believe, are going to be the core of the team going forward. So you got uh, Adam Prentice, the fullback, Marquez Callaway, 24 years old, wide receiver, Deontay Hardy, 24 years old, um, Kurt Merritt, 25 years old, Chris Alave, 22 years old, Rashawn Saheed, 24 years old. Traquan Smith, 26 years old. Jawan Johnson, 26 years old. Lucas Crawl, 24 years old. I'm gonna pass up him. Adam Troutman, 25 years old. Eric McCoy, 25 years old. Caesar Maurice, 23. Who else? Lewis Kidd, 25 years old. Eden Greenwich, 25. Not James Hurst. Trevor Penning, 23 years old, a first round pick along with Alave, Calvin Throckmorton, 26 years old, and Landy Young, 26 years old. Defense, Marcus Davenport, 26. Carl Granste's 25 years old. You got no, looking at him. Malcolm Roach, 24 years old. Peyton Turner, 23 years old. Who else? Albert Huggins, 25. Jordan Jackson, 24 years old. Guy, young man out of Air Force. Late round picks. Catavius Street, 26. Not Conshai. Toronto, Zach Bond, 25. Andrew Dow, 26. K. Nellis, 27. Well, not Cons, K. Nellis. He been here that long? Chase Hansen, nope. DeMarco Jackson, 24 years old. Pete Warner, 23 years old. Paulson Debo, 23. Lattimore, 26. Alontae Taylor, 23 years old. You get the point, man. You get the point. You get where I'm going with this in regard to this roster, man. So I think overall, the Saints have a nice, young, strong going to the future. Now, you got guys that are getting a little older in age. Cam Jordan, David he's 30 plus now. Alvin Kamara is I think 28 right now, 28, 27. Michael Thomas will be 30. Andrews Pete, he's 29. If I'm not mistaken, he's 29. You still got a few older guys on this team. You know what I'm saying? But I think I don't think you have to really blow up this team to be better again. You don't have to blow it up. There are needs on this team, like the defensive line may have to be rebuilt based on what I see. The safety position may need to get looked at, and may have to rebuild that position. quarterback is definitely a must because I don't know if Jameis. I'm not sure if Jameis Winston, and I know for a fact that Andy Dalton is not going to get it. Is not the guy going forward. And in regards to Jameis Winston, I just don't think they're going to give him the opportunity to be the guy going forward. But you never know. But based on what I've seen, what Jameis said and that whole sit down interview he did with Mike Triplett, I just don't see it happening. But what this team needs, man, is a quarterback, a young quarterback to go along with this core. I like some of the players that we have right now on this team, the younger guys. I'm not talking about guys like Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara and Cam Jordan and David Iman. I'm not talking and Teron Matthew. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the younger talent. I like the guys like a Chris Olave, Jawan Johnson he's starting to grow into his own as a tight end. I like Rashawn Shaheed. Hopefully, we can see a little more of him going forward in his offense. I like Lante Taylor, Paulson Adebo, Peyton Turner. In certain moments, certain games have looked pretty good. He just needs to perform like that on a weekly basis, man. Right now, what's hurting Peyton Turner is health. Is health. He just can't stay on the field. You know, um, the wide receiver position, Chris Olave. I really like, one of the best one of the best young receivers in the draft in the NFL right now, and most likely, and not one, I won't say most likely, but he's pretty much the best wide receiver in this year's draft class right now. Christian Watson of Green Bay look like he's coming along strong lately, but overall, right now, Chris Olave is the best wide receiver coming out of the draft. Now, I do believe that we gave up a lot for him. We could have gotten Olave and not given up too much for him, in my opinion. But what's done is done now, and he's a part of this team. We just need, I think, in the future, the Saints need to draft another wide receiver. Draft another wide receiver that can go along with Chris Olave. You got tight end. I think the future of the tight end position is going to be Jawan Johnson and Adam Troutman. Taysom Hill is going to continue. I think Taysom Hill is going to remain in that gadget role that he's in right now. That way he's playing a running back or a tight end, sometimes a wide receiver. But I think the future of the position is going to be Jawan Johnson and Adam Troutman. Two guys are young in their careers. You're not paying them a whole lot right now. So that's great. Alante Taylor, he could be I think he's going to be the future at the slot position. He's going to be the future player at that position right now. But I think if Roby is healthy, Bradley Roby is healthy, it's going to be Bradley Roby right now. But in the future, I think Alante Taylor is going to man that position. Um, Cornerback, I think we're pretty set with Paulson Adebo and Marshawn Lattimore, but you never know. With Dennis Allen on his team, he can draft another corner, But I think I like where we're at overall right now. I like we got Marshawn Lattimore on one side, Adebo on the other. Running back, outside of Alvin Kamara, the Saints need to get a little young at that position. I know Tony Pollard is going to be a free agent this year, in 2023, and he's gonna have a lot of suitors to have his services, to request his services, to sign him. But the Saints shouldn't be one of them. Do not. I mean, I think the Saints need to get a little young at that position. The Saints don't really spend. They've never been a big spender on running backs, like free agent running backs. That's a position that they usually they find through the draft, and you know you get in a second round. If you did get that first round pick for Sean Payton, I think the first round pick need to be a quarterback. The second round pick needs to be a running back. They need to go. They need to find an RB2 to complement Alvin Kamara because you continue to run him like this. Now, so I mean he's been healthy so far, but he dealt with a little injury early on in the season. But if you continue to run him between the tackles like this, it's gonna be really bad, And the Saints need to preserve Alvin Kamara, get a younger running back, a RB2, a guy that's a little bit of the opposite, more of the bigger back, more of the thumper back that got some power. If you can find your back like a that could do similar things like a Derrick Henry, if you can, to go along with Alvin Kamara. But I don't think it's not the future of the team, man. The roster is not that bad. I don't think it's going to be doom and gloom if you really look at it. They make some changes to certain personnel. I think if Brady, if those rumors of Brady leaving the NFC South are true, I think it's up for grabs again next year. And if the NFC South will be up for grabs again next year, and if you make the right moves, the right picks, you build this roster out, make some changes to where this offense is ran, I think you go in that division next year with this core, with the combination of younger talent. You got to get, to me, you got to get cheap at a lot of these positions, man. Because that's the only way you're going to get out of the cap situation. The only way you could like, you know, mitigate the salary cap situation. That's with cheap young talent that you hit on in the draft. Pretty much gonna have to have a repeat of that 2017 draft where you just hit on each pick pretty for the most part. You hit on each pick on each round of that draft. I think Alvin Kamara was a third round pick. Um, you got Marshawn Lattimore in the first round. You picked up Trey Henderson in the later rounds of that draft. You picked up Marcus Williams in the draft in the third, I think, second round, if I'm not mistaken, of that draft. I believe, I think, yeah, Traquan Smith came the following year, but you hit on pretty much each round of that draft. That's what you're gonna have to mitigate those issues with the salary cap. Cheap talent, and one of those picks gonna have to be a quarterback. Gonna have to be a quarterback to go along with that plethora of talent that you can get in the draft. Now the key is, can you hit on those picks? Can you strike gold like you did in 2017? And not only that, the Saints had a good draft in 2016. They had one good in 2016 and 2015. You had core players in each of those drafts. That's what the Saints are going to need to have. You're going to have to hit in this year's draft, next year's draft, and along with the following year's draft. And I think the Saints could be right back into it, because you want to get ahead of the curve, because chances are Carolina's going to have a new QB, their new young QB, and Falcons going to have their new young QB. I don't know what the Bucs are going to do with their situation at quarterback, but the Saints need to have a young QB along as well that you're grooming up. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Andy Dalton that's going to be the bridge or it's going to be Jameis Winston. I'm pretty sure based on optics that Winston does not want to be a bridge QB. I'm pretty sure. And that situation is going to have to get settled between him and Dennis Allen, because, in my opinion, I just don't see James getting back out there. I just don't. Even if they go to 0-5, they go not 0-5. Even if they lose to Tampa Bay next weekend, which pretty much eliminated them. If they lose to Tampa Bay, I still see Andy Dalton going back out there after the bye week. But for the future, they need to hit on these picks, man. I don't think, and if you do that, and they can do that, man, it's going to come down to scouting, man. the scouting department, which players they believe, could fit in this roster, man. And what changes they make towards on their coaching staff. Because I'm pretty sure if they don't make the playoffs, there could be some changes coming in regards to that staff. And also Payne is pretty much gonna take some assistance, from this team. That's just speculation by me, but the chances are high of that happening. But you make a few moves here or there. Don't give away assets. Don't give away assets in the future. Draft assets. Get a quarterback. Continue to draft well. You can sign a veteran here or there, a cheap veteran, but don't overpay for nobody. Don't overpay for nobody. Um, keep the draft picks. Don't rely too much on these undrafted free agents like you've done in the past, because I think that's another reason that's something else that another factor that played into the downfall of this team. I'm relying too much on undrafted rookies to play in positions that they never been in before, that they're not even ready for. That was another downfall right there, in my opinion. Now, some of those guys may not be back with us. Guys like a Deontay Hardy. He may not come back to this team. A David Onyemata. Marcus Davenport. I don't know. I'm just not sure they're gonna pay him all that money, man. Next year. So we'll see how everything plays out. But you make a few additions, a few tweaks to this team, retool his roster again, not rebuild it. I think you'll be right back in playoff contention. A Super Bowl, that's a whole different story. Will it turn into that Super Bowl contending roster that we saw in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020? We don't know yet. It depends on how this offseason goes, how they make changes to this coaching staff, and if they can find a quarterback. That's going to be the key. Because if not, you're going to be back in the wins once again. Back in the search mode once again. Be like Denver or something, looking for a quarterback. Denver, Detroit. Detroit's looking pretty good right now, but you get the point. So there you have it. All right, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Do you think the future outlook of the Saints is going to be doom and gloom, or do you feel optimistic of the team changing, getting things turned around for next season? Also, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the New Orleans Saints organization. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out. Who that?